Hi and welcome to this video blog with me, Wayne, from swimmingcyclingrunning.com. We're in a series at the moment where we're looking at session plans. We initially last week looked at swimming session plans, and this week we're going to look at cycling session plans. Specifically, we're going to set up a turbo. So with me a bit gruff because I've had 2 discs replaced, we'll head straight over to the computer and continue things from there.
Okay, so here we are once again in front of a blank session plan. Remember, we do these in Excel to make things calculable all the way through. The sport this time is cycling, but more specifically we're going to have a turbo session, no particular venue. And as with everything, we're going to have a purpose. And the purpose for this particular session is going to be twofold. Making efforts off hard riding and a good pedalling action. So those are the 2 things we're going to do. As with everything, we want to warm up, a main set and a cool down. And the warm up in this particular session is going to be a 5-minute effort. Notice 5 minutes at L1, increasing the effort throughout the 5 minutes, followed by 10 minutes where we click up the gear after that 5 minutes, and then every 2 after that. So every 2 minutes we're going to click up the gear yet again until the final of the 10 minutes. Now notice in a turbo session I've got the distance equaling the time that we're going to do within that particular section. The reason for that is it becomes calculable, so that each time we're within a energy system, that becomes calculable. That's the only reason I do that, but it is quite useful to do it that way. Okay, we're going to go on to a pedalling section there. We're going to do some drills. And the drills are going to be 4 lots of 30 seconds with both legs spin. Notice 30 seconds becomes 0.5 in the distance. It's 0.5 of a minute. Followed by single leg only, right, left, right, left. It's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On 30 seconds. Okay, so 30 seconds both legs spin, followed by 30 seconds single leg only. Single leg cycling is exceptionally good for making your pedalling action smooth. You will find out where your pedalling action goes haywire. It'll just become very difficult to pull your leg up. And to progress this particular part of the session, all you need to do is take this bit and increase it by 10 seconds up to a minute, even beyond a minute if you want. So on the next one you may go 30 seconds both legs spin and then 40 seconds at single leg, and 40 seconds obviously with distance will become 0.6 of a minute. Okay, so that will get you into pedaling smoothly, and then after that we're just going to spin for 2 minutes in L2, just as a sort of mini recovery, because that's going to be quite tiring on the legs, single leg cycling, if you've not done it before. And if you then progress it up to a minute, again, every time you progress it, it's going to become that little bit more tiring. So a little bit of a spin before the main set. The main set in this particular case is going to be fairly easy. Alright, we have 3 lots. Let's just blank that out. 3 lots in all of an 8-minute race pace effort, followed by 1 minute upping the gear but maintaining the cadence, and then a 2-minute easy gear recovery, and that's done all 3 times. So what we've got is an 11-minute section where 8 minutes is race pace at L3. We then up the gear and maintain the cadence. For those of you that don't know, cadence is the number of times your pedals go round in a minute, so it's pedal revolutions per minute. That's the cadence, followed by an easier gear recovery. Now when you recover, we don't need to go down right to a very spin, but you're simulating race situation here. Yeah, so you might be going downhill and take it slightly easier, but you won't be going completely easy. Okay, so if you want to progress this main set to do something slightly more adventurous, there's a few ways to do it. Obviously you could repeat this all 4 times, but that's actually going quite hard initially. The easier way to do it is take this 8 minutes and make that 9 minutes. So you have a 9-minute race effort followed by a 1-minute up gear followed by a 2-minute easy. You can see how that would work. You can take that, I would suggest, all the way up to about 15 minutes. This 1 gear up 1 minute up gear and maintain cadence, that could actually go right up to 2 minutes. I wouldn't suggest you go much past that for L4. You wouldn't be able to repeat very much after that, because this will become fairly tiring. So you can increase this, I would suggest, up to about 15 minutes, even 20 minutes, and increase that section up to 2 minutes, not increasing the easy gear recovery. And you will have a very progressive set. So that's the way to do that. You can do that in many ways, and you've got huge amounts of variation of turbo sessions based on one session, and adjusting all these parameters there. Right, after that, what we're going to do is obviously a cool down. And our cool down, there we go. And we're going to have an extra spin after this 2 minutes of 3 minutes, and we're going to go into L1. So the first one's just taking it down into an easier gear, and the second bit is really easing it out into a cool down recovery. Okay, we've already started highlighting the energy system usage there, and you can see we're 18% in L1, 35 in L2, 42 in L3, and 5% in L4. That's a really reasonable mix. Total time for the session, 57. I notice the distance exactly the same, because what we're using obviously for distance is the time in each particular section. Do remember that 30 seconds is 0.5 of a minute, and you have to fraction it out like that. And there we go, a turbo session with both a purpose and a potential progression set, both on the drills and on the main set, that you could use over a number of weeks to get yourself doing even 2-3 hours on a turbo session.
Okay, so there you have it, a turbo session that has a purpose, a warm-up, a main set, and a cool down. And also one that you can hopefully take and progress from week to week. You have to remember that all the sessions you do can be progressive if you actually build in elements that you can take on from 1 week to the next week. Useful to do. Next week we're looking at a running session, and hopefully I'll have my stitches out and won't be so croaky as well. Hopefully we'll see you then. Thank you.